Today's video is about motivation, MO, and socially significant behavior and contingencies. We're going to talk about the three of those ABA terms in this video. How do those three go together? So motivation, MO, contingencies, and socially significant behavior. What determines socially significant behavior? As an autistic person, for me, socially significant behavior is anything that gets me a positive result with a social relationship. And so it might be, some cases for someone, it might be tying your shoe. Now, I would argue for me, personally, tying my shoe is not a socially significant behavior. But that's probably because I learned how to do that when I was 4 or 5 years old. I'm on the higher functioning Asperger's side of the spectrum. And like, the thing about it is nobody cares if I can tie my shoe or not. And so now in some cases I can see where if you're a 7-year-old kid, 9-year-old kid, you can't tie your shoe, you're in school, you're getting made fun of by your peers, that's a contingency. Okay, so you're being made fun of is a contingency. And so that could actually motivate you to think that tying your shoe is a socially significant behavior. Or in the case of a child, maybe it becomes a socially significant behavior for the parents because they notice the child's being made fun of, and parents are also tired of tying the child's shoe. Lots of contingencies in play, right? So yeah, so to me, motivation and contingencies play a role in defining what is socially significant behavior. So like, for example, if I want to get someone to go on a date with me, my definition of socially significant behavior changes based off of my motivation. So like, all of a sudden I like this girl and I want her to go on a date with me. My MO is changing. And so maybe she wants me to be able to make her feel a certain way, and I don't know how to reciprocate conversations that make her feel a certain way in order to get her to go on a date with me. And so now all of a sudden my MO has changed, whereas to maybe I don't really care about small talk so much. So small talk wouldn't be under different contingencies. Small talk wouldn't be a socially significant behavior for me. But under this contingency now where I want to like this girl and I want her to like me, all of a sudden small talk becomes a socially significant behavior for me. So your socially significant behaviors are constantly changing, right? Because it's based off of your motivation of what you want out of your life. And so that's why I think it's challenging, because we want to target certain behaviors, but those behaviors we need to target are changing every day, based off of what we want and desire out of life. So based off of our MO, the 4-term contingency, the motivation part is going to change our behavior, and our motivation for behavior is going to change our, based off of the contingencies and the antecedents that we're dealing with. That's all going to change. And so it's very important that we understand that, when we talk about socially significant behavior, it's not necessarily a black or white definition of what we think is socially significant behavior, because one day I might like someone, one day I might not like someone. So there could be more, there's obviously a lot more involved in this, but there could be more, there could be a day where something is socially significant to me and the next day it's not socially significant. So I just really wanted to introduce this concept of how MO and contingencies play a role in what we define as operationally define as socially significant behavior, because I think that's very important to understand. Like I said, if I want to get this girl to go on a date with me, then all of a sudden my definition of socially significant behavior all of a sudden becomes whatever her definition of socially significant behavior is, because I want her to like me. And so that's very important to understand, and I think that's something we overlook a lot when dealing with autism and helping people increase their socially significant behaviors and things like that. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think about motivation and contingencies affecting socially significant behavior, and let's start a conversation about this.